Okay, so I was gonna just send you guys a YouTube video of how to make an envelope for your Valentines, but some of them are too long, and I kind of want to do this just to show you the really quick, basic way how to do it. And now that I'm looking at my supplies, I'm realizing I don't have a glue stick, so I'm gonna put you on pause for 1 second. Okay, so let's go over the supplies that you're gonna need. You're gonna need your card that you're gonna be sending. You need a glue stick, a pencil. You don't need these two colored pens, but I'm going to use them so it's easy for you to tell where my lines are and where to cut and where not to cut. Some sort of straight edge, something like that. And again, now I'm seeing I didn't bring scissors. So 1 second, one more time. Sorry, guys. Okay, so scissors, and then you want a heavy book to press your envelope in. Okay, so heavy book, scissors, straight edge, ruler, whatever, glue stick, pencil, your actual letter, and for the envelope itself, you want, you don't have to use thick paper. I have the kind of paper here that we use to make our letters. It can just be construction paper. Anything that you maybe want to get something that's bigger than letter size, but I think that we have the same size letters. So this is just about the size of a regular piece of copy paper. It's 8.5 by 11 inches. So I think that should fit your envelope or your Valentine Day card just fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to tilt the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing. Alrighty, so I will try to keep this, I know it's going to be a little bit backwards. I'll try to do it so it's facing the camera. The first thing that you want to do is that let me scoot this back so I have a little more room. What you want to do is place your card on your envelope or on your piece of paper that you're going to be making your envelope out of, and you want to put it right in the center of your paper going this way. And it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but what you want to do is you want to slide it up to the top, and you want to leave just a nice space up at the top that's going to be big enough. This is going to be the flap that goes down over your envelope like this. So what we're making right now up here is the very top flap of your envelope, okay? So go ahead, center your card up at the top. And using your pencil, you just want to outline it lightly with your pencil. You don't have to go all the way around it, just enough to give you an idea of how big your card is. Okay, set your card off to the side. And the reason we're doing that is because, like I said, this top part is going to be the top flap of our envelope. So we're going to go ahead and fold that first. What I do to help make a nice even fold, and you can just use a ruler for this, but I have a triangle, so I'm going to use that, is take that ruler and put it on that line to give you a nice crisp edge when you're folding. Now this paper is pretty thick, so it's a little harder to fold. So I'm just going to kind of use my straight edge to help me make the first part of my fold, and then I'm going to fold that over. You want to make sure your edges meet up really well and they're nice and even with the side of the paper, and just go ahead and fold that down. Now this paper is really thick, so if you're just using copy paper or construction paper, this will be a lot easier for you. Of course, I had to go and make it more difficult, so I'm going to use the edge of my scissor handles to really make sure that edge is creased. Okay, so right now I have the top of my envelope made. So if I were to put my envelope or my letter in there, you can see that's going to be the top of our envelope. So now we're going to go ahead and crease the bottom. I can see that this is where and you know what, and let's go ahead, I'm going to use the blue. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. You know I get excited sometimes. So I can see this is the bottom where I did my pencil line. That's how big my envelope has to be in order to fit my card. So now I'm going to, I don't want it to be just big enough. I want it to be, my envelope to be a little bit bigger than my card. So I'm going to just use my straight edge and line it up. So here's my line is right here. I'm just moving my straight edge down a little bit so that I know my envelope is going to be just a tiny bit bigger than my card. So take the bottom of your card, or your envelope, I'm sorry. Take the bottom of your envelope, use your straight edge to kind of make that bottom crease, and fold that and make sure it's folded nicely. Again, I'm going to use my scissors to make sure that that's creased really well. So now, if you look, you can see if I try to fold the top of my envelope down, it's just a little too big, okay? So that means I need to cut a section of this off. So I'm just going to use my pencil and my straight edge to show me, okay, so my crease, I can see where my crease is and I can see where the envelope is. It's a little too big. So I'm just going to draw a line and making sure it's nice and even, I am going to draw a straight line across to show me where I need to cut my envelope, okay? So, and let's do that part in marker. Any place that you need to cut, I'm going to do in purple, a dash line in purple. So I need to cut that part off, otherwise my flap won't go over it. So let's go ahead and trim that section off. I'm gonna leave it so you can see the dotted line a little bit, so that way you can tell whenever I show you the final piece of paper, you're gonna be able to see where I needed to cut my paper at. Okay, so if I cut that off and I go to fold the top over, look at it seals in just nicely. So if I take my card and I just kind of stick it in the middle there, I can take the bottom, fold it up, and the top, and it's kind of already starting to look like an envelope, but we're not done yet. We still have a couple more steps, not just two, a few more. Okay, so now that I have it folded that way where I need to get the sides so that they fold in. Okay, so I have my pencil lines drawn on the side to show me how wide my card is. So let's go ahead and make those folds now. All right, so I want to make sure that my card again has room on the side. So I don't want to line it up exactly to the width of my card. I'm going to just scoot it out just a little bit so that, and actually I should be using my triangle in the way that it was designed so that I've got nice straight folds. Again, you don't have to have a triangle. A ruler works just fine. So I'm going to take and fold one side up, give it a fold, and then I'm going to go do the exact same thing on the other side. My pencil line is right there. That shows me how wide my card is. It doesn't need to fit it snug, like super snug, so it's hard to get your card in there. So maybe make it just a little bit wider than it really needs to be. Oops. Okay, we're going to fold that edge up. Okay, just using my triangle to make sure my folds are straight. And then fold it in. Use your folds to make sure everything lines up nicely. I'm using the edge of my scissors to make sure my folds are nice and crisp. Okay, whoops. Okay, make sure you're being careful. Take your time with it. There's no need to rush through this. And I've got my edges folded in. All right, so now what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to mark where you need to cut and where you should leave things, okay? So the areas that you need to trim off are going to be, I'm going to mark it with purple. Dotted purple lines is where you should cut your envelope. And I'm going to say, I guess like the blue purple lines will be where you need to leave, or where it should just be folded and not cut. I'll even mark the areas that are going to be cut off with an X. So this, we're going to remove this section here. And then we are also going to remove this section up at the top because we don't need that part either. So let me get these marked for you. So that will go and this will go. So that means that these areas that I have marked in blue are just folded. They're not cut. They're going to just be, or let's do that in straight instead of the dashed ones. These are just going to be the areas that are folded, not cut. Okay? Just to kind of help clarify things. And if you want to do this with your pencil, I don't suggest doing it in marker. That way your envelope doesn't have these strange marks on it. You can see where, let me move this. You can see where it needs to be cut and where it just needs to be folded, okay? So if you want to stop the video here to kind of give you an idea as to what needs to be cut and what needs to be folded, but otherwise, let's go ahead and cut away the areas that we need to cut. So you can see I have purple dashed lines here and here, so that means I need to cut those away. So let's do a cut and a cut, okay? And then another cut and a cut. Pull those off. There's the top of our envelope, okay? This is this part right here, okay? Now we need to make the body of the envelope, okay? So we don't want to cut these areas off. They're not dashed and they're not marked with X's, okay? So we need to cut the bottom part of our envelope off. So let's follow the dashed lines and get rid of those parts that have X's on them. So we'll cut that section off on this side. Get rid of that. Oops. And cut this section off here. And get rid of it on that side. All right, so now we have a finished envelope. What you're going to do is you're going to fold these sides in, and you are going to put glue on these sides right here. Now you need to be very careful making sure you don't get glue on the inside of your envelope, because when you fold this part up to make and seal it, you want to make sure that you're not accidentally gluing the whole thing shut. You just want to make sure you've got glue on the insides of these little flappy guys here, not on the inside, not here, but just on the outside. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So just right here on the outside. So let's go ahead, take our glue stick. Ooh, she is dried out. So let's put glue on these edges here. Make sure you be pretty generous with your glue in this part. This is one of those times that I'm going to say that you can't do too much. And hold the flaps down and push your envelope. Oops. You want to make sure that that's folded in all the way. And it is pushed all the way down. Now, do not put your flap over, because as you can see, I've got these two little uprights here. We don't want to close our envelope yet. If you put this down over it, it's going to seal your envelope shut because you probably have glue right here. So do not close your envelope just yet. Press it down really well. Now, this is where the big book comes in handy. You can just, if you want to put a piece of wax paper maybe, or if it'll come off the book probably, but if you want to protect it, maybe put saran wrap down or wax paper. Let's seal that bad boy. We put the book on it to make sure that there's even pressure on our envelope so that it seals nicely. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for right now so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me hold a book down, okay? Okay, so we are back with our envelope that's perfectly made. You guys probably did an amazing job with this. And if not, try it again. It's okay. So we have a nice opening for our letter. Our flap goes down nicely. So one of the things you can do to add a little extra touch to your envelope is you can round the corners a bit. So if you want to take and just using a pencil, I use a pen so it's easy for you to see on camera. But if you want to round your edges and just cut the edges off, so it's rounded, it just adds a little extra, something to it. You don't have to, obviously, but it's up to you if you'd like to. And your card is going to fit in perfectly. So your card will slide right in, and it is the perfect size envelope for your beautiful Valentine's Day cards that I know that you did. And if you're watching this one, hopefully you'll watch the next video on how to do a wax seal if you would like. Even if you're not going to do the wax seal, what you need to do, instead of putting a bunch of glue across all of here, don't do that, okay? Fold the envelope top over. Using a pencil, after you folded the envelope top over, lightly, very, very lightly, go over the area where the flap goes down. This area, and I'm going to go over it in pen marker so you can see it really well. This is the area that you want to put glue in only. Because if you glued this whole area right here, it's going to stick to your card. It's going to stick to that little part of the envelope. So what you want to do is take your glue stick and just glue inside the area that you have marked off. You can glue it down, and then you can take an eraser and erase any pencil lines that you need to. So in my video with the wax seal, you're gonna see I make an oopsie, and one of the envelopes that I used wasn't sealed all the way. It had an opening in it, kind of like this, and the wax seeped through that seal. So you want to make sure that once you glue it, take your friend, the big book, and put it on top of your envelope again to make sure the glue holds really well and it's sealed nicely before you do the wax envelope. And my cat came to visit. Do you guys want to see her? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so this is Zia, and she's got a puffball. And let's see if she will. She's going to hopefully. So that's my cat, Zia. I hope this was helpful. If you want to find other ways to make envelopes, it's super easy. You can just YouTube DIY paper envelopes. But I think this is a really good, just basic technique to make a nice envelope for your Valentine's. Again, hope to see you guys soon. Miss you. Bye.